Hello guys, my name is Amy and welcome to the highlight video of the latest race that was Hungary. Now, I had a bit of a mare in practice for this race. Many of you that have played this game or indeed seen the real life F1 race at Hungary. There's a particular curb, is all I'm going to say. And it's got a bit of a temperament, bit of a stigma about it. So that curb caught me out quite a bit in practice. So I do have a little plan of going a little bit wide, intentional understeer to avoid hitting it. But anyway, on to Liam's favourite track. Unfortunately, Liam is not in this race. Me and Keelan end up in the party chat together, so we just drive without him. We put off a bit for waiting for him, but he unfortunately doesn't make it in time. Ironically, he turns up as I finish the stream. I literally press end stream, and he turns up. So yeah, he misses the entirety of this race. So unfortunately, it is down to me to get points, but I'm not hopeful because of that curb. So we'll see. So into qualifying. On to qualifying then, and we've got about 8 minutes left. This is my first run. I had a few technical problems regarding my stream. For some reason, Streamlabs decided to update literally as I was about to start streaming, so unfortunately we couldn't go straight out. It's not going to be that much of a problem because obviously as track evolution improves and rubber gets put down, it's one of them, it gets better as time goes on, so it's probably done us a favour, to be honest, but it's one of them, we try and prevail, go around the dreaded curb. Yes, like I said in the intro, intentional understeer. So lap 1 we managed to get around it, not a problem. So yeah, it's one of them. At this point I'm thinking I like this track. Almost a bit of a close call with that guy. I don't know if he knew I was coming up behind him. He was a little bit on the racing line, but I managed to squeezy past. But overall, I don't think this is too bad a lap for me. I do go a little bit sideways at that point. But Hungary is not a track that I tend to do a lot. P11, not great. It's not bad for me. But yeah, it's interesting. But I do stay out, I do try and do another lap because I fueled up. It's a case of I'm intending on this being a 2 quick lap session. Go past Keelan there, because I've not managed to get a lap in already, so if anything, probably use this mainly as practice like normal. But I do improve. I am still in the green at this point, so I don't bail out. Obviously I do go a little bit down, but that's normal. You know, you have your good corners and your bad corners, so you're more than likely going to go green, red all the time. I do get a green sector 2, so that's always nice. Quite a lot on the curb so that I don't sort of spin the back end, because obviously last lap I did have a little bit of back end wobble, but over the line and still P11. I do improve a little bit, but unfortunately not enough, so I basically bail at this point. Again, you know, on my in lap I just use it as practice, if anything, so I don't mess up during the race, because I don't get in as much practice as everybody else because I work. But anyway, End of quali then, and yeah, unfortunately I couldn't improve. So we do start at the back, beating my time trial best though. My time trial is 1:18.097, I think it is. So getting into the 1:17s, I'd say that's a plus for me really. But it does mean we are starting P14. Not great, but most of my tactics have worked, so it's a case of starting at the back, and hopefully just missing all the shenanigans of turn 1. So we'll see. On to the race. On to strategies then, and I did have a few little bits from Liam. Obviously I race on a Friday, so during breaks I was talking with Liam on chat, basically on the best way to do things. Now, I basically just go against what it tells me, and I make my own stints up. A lot of people, I was guessing, go on the quicker tyre to start with, so I change things around. I start off on the hards and end up on the faster mediums at the end. Obviously I don't have Liam with me. I purely have what he's basically texted me. So it's a thing of, I just hope it's a decent strategy, because obviously me and Keelan are in chat, but we are racing for different teams. So no conferring with each other, basically. So we'll see how it goes. On to the race then. So P14, 5 lights are out after quite a while. I like how they change up. Some are quick, some are quick. It keeps you on your toes, especially when you've got manual starts. So like I predicted, absolute chaos at the start. I'm on the inside though, so I was hoping to at least get a dive bomb on somebody. Yav unfortunately is not in the session at this point. He basically glitched out in quali. We were following around for laps, so he had the decency to basically quit qualifying, and then he joined for like 2 seconds and then left again, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. So he's ghosted. Everyone else seems to have the same idea as me, to intentionally go wide on that curb. Really brake hard there because did not want to go into the back of Highbury. Dioptric gets us down the inside, does a bit of a brake check, so obviously might have been a little bit of a love tap but no damage done, so that'll be fine. Sticking to the racing line, so keeping the guys behind me, up to P13, so at least made 1 place so far. But yeah, we've got 35 laps of this, so squeaky bum time for most of it, because I really do not like this track. I don't know how Liam does. I can't see what Liam sees in this track. I really don't. But yeah, it's one of them. We've managed to survive lap 1 and made a place up. We seem to now be a bit on our own. Everyone seems to have gone. I now have Bettman behind. Someone there, Boss Turtle, I believe. It's sideways, ghosted. He does carry on, so he's not DNF'd. He's just sideways for some reason. But yeah, it's one of them. P12, purely because someone spun. So yeah, it's one of them. Unintentional wide. I do go wider at this point because obviously I now have a guy behind me, Bettman, lovely chap, bless him. I did go a little bit wider to effectively push him further left, as my defending is getting better, I believe, as you can clearly see. The defending, I don't think is getting better. I think it's just a case of I'm sticking to the racing line a bit more. I do have Bettman quite a lot behind me. No matter what race it is, he does tend to be behind. But yeah, we have a yellow flag. We have a safety car. Unfortunately, Hugo has retired, so a few corners before that safety car came up, he was on our right hand side, ghosted, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. Bit unfortunate. Looks like Keelan has to push himself a bit further this time, because Hugo being out, it's just down to the one person to get points for their team. You know how they feel. No pressure. But I am up to P6. Now, nothing spectacular has happened. It's just a lot of people have come into the pits already, like Quack, if you can see, on the left-hand side. He's already now on the hards. He's pretty sure he started on the mediums. So, a few people have tried to basically undercut a lot of people. But it's a safety car. I'm not coming in. I'm trying to stick to my plan of go as far as I can on these hard tyres. So, yeah, P6 at the moment. Safety car coming in this lap then, and we're up to P3. We are getting a little bit bunched up. I say a little bit, very much bunched up. Toppy obviously slowing the field down, bunching everybody up, still warming our tyres up. It's still keeping us bunched up, and go. Are we going? Right, we're off. Don't know why he kept us bunched up for so long, but I don't think I was napping. I don't know where the safety car line is for going, so I just have to try and keep up the best I can. We do get a little bit of pressure from behind. My restarts off of safety cars are not the best. Even if I stay out and everyone else pits purely to get some decent points, a lot of people are very good around this track. Now, Dioptric clearly hits that curb a little bit, so he has a bit of a wobble. I get a little bit pushed off by Yav. Nothing major, but a little bit of contact, bit of elbows out. I do try my best to keep up. I am on controller with a few assists, so I know that will be putting me down quite a bit. Now, got a bit of a dive bomb from a few people on my left hand side, so I do end up going wide, purely so they don't hit me, because you can guarantee they'll hit you and you will have the damage. So I don't want to change my front wing if I can help it. A few people behind already got penalties, so a bit interesting there. I'm guessing that might have been regarding like when we were all bunched up at the safety car restart. Maybe a few what the game will class as illegal overtakes. So I don't know. It's one of them. We'll see how they come into effect at the end. But going around most of this sector with a racing point next to me. Now, I do give him room. It's not one of them, you know, elbows out or anything. I do brake a little bit purely so I don't go wide, because I didn't want to push this guy out because he's new. Boss Turtle is a new guy. Unfortunately, he is only in this race. He does leave after this race, so clearly we weren't nice to him. For whatever reason, I do not know. But anyway, lap 6, and we're back down to P11. With Batman behind us again. But the good thing is, Keelan is behind him, so if he can stay there, that would be even better. On to lap 11 then, and I've got Keelan behind me. Yes, Bettman has got past me. It was a pretty simple overtake. But yeah, Keelan tries having a go. He's got a new controller for this race. Obviously not for this race, but this is the first race he's got a brand new controller. The one actually works. He for some reason decides to bomb down the left hand side, completely outbrakes himself, so I try and stay with him, tried to take advantage of that, but I definitely take advantage of that. He goes a little bit skew if I try and get him around the outside. He has to obviously give me room. DRS, big advantage going down here. Storm past him and close off the door there. Obviously he has to brake, so he gets a little bit skewy in my rear view mirror. But yeah, that was a successful defend, even though he did kind of get past me, but I got past him back. So with the help of DRS, I managed to close the door quite well and keep him behind. So hope you're proud of that one, Liam. Lap 13 then, with P10 we still have Keelan behind. He had a few little looks, but unfortunately the curb gets me. I managed to keep clear of that barrier, but unfortunately the curb strikes again. It's one that you don't even need to mention anything to anybody. You just turn around and go Hungary and that curb, and they instantly know you're on about that curb. So yeah, unfortunately pressure did get to me. I didn't intentionally go wide. I stuck on the racing line probably a little bit too much, and then yeah, the curb just took me. As a result, the guy behind's now caught up. I don't think I pushed him off. I apologise if I did, but obviously he gets DRS down the inside, easy as you like. But he is a seasoned pro, is Quack, so I don't really try and defend against him. There are a few people I will defend against, but Quack isn't really one of them. But yeah, unfortunately then in one lap I am down 2 places. I make sure I go wider the second time round, but yeah, it's that curb. It's pain. On to lap 17, and Keelan's back behind me. He's pitted, he's now on the hard tyre, so I'm guessing he's doing basically the opposite of me, because I believe he started on the mediums. Again, does have a little bit of a look, bit of bump drafting, nothing major. I'm guessing he's just biding his time, because the last time he was behind me I ended up sideways on that curb. But obviously he does have DRS, a bit of a drag race to turn 1. Obviously he's got the inside line. I try my best at a switchback, because I was planning on basically him going wide, which he did, and sort of outbraking himself, which he didn't. So he still got the traction coming out of turn 1 into the DRS zone again. It's 1 detection zone for 2 activation zones, so obviously he gets DRS again. So he got past me fair and square at that point without the help of that curb. Lap 18 then, we come into the pits. I put on my pit limiter horrendously early, I know, but I was making sure I was not getting a penalty. This is my one and only stop, so we'll be going on to the medium tyre, where a lot of people have been on the alternate to me, or I'm on the alternate to them. Either way, I'll be on the faster tyre, but not necessarily the faster person, because I just do not have the same skills as everybody in this league. So yeah, coming out onto turn 1, we're down into P14. Dioptric is now in front. He was quite a way behind, but obviously pit stops do take up quite a few seconds, so he's managed to get us on that one. But I am on the faster tyre. He's on hards. I'm not sure on how old his hards are. He gets on the curb, so does have a little bit of a twitch, but I can't capitalise on that too much. I have my own little squirm coming out of that chicane. So yeah, it's one of them. We both have our twitches, and neither can make anything of them. So it's just a case of keep the car, all four wheels on the track the best we can, and just bring it home. I don't intend on doing anything stupid. Even though he does slam the anchors on, I managed to react quite quickly, so no damage done. The good thing is I do get DRS on here. Doesn't really do much. He seems to be getting away from me still. Not like how Keelan managed to get past me. I'm just not close enough, I guess. But obviously, because I had DRS in the first one, I have it in the second as well, and still can't do anything with it. So at this point, I am kind of losing my patience. I do get a bit twitchy. So it's just a thing of, again, just trying to keep my head down. But I get on the curb again because of all the pressure trying to get past him. I lose it. I don't fully lose it. I managed to sort of ride it quite well, I think. It's one of them. I don't fully spin. It just slows me down. So I don't really want to count that as the curb got me. It kind of did, but not fully. So me 0, curb 1.5. Lap 22 then, and we have another safety car coming out of what I think is turn 1 onto a bit of a right hand kink. Iconic has DNF'd. Bit unfortunate. Not quite sure what's happened. It's a bit of a simple corner, really, that one. So not 100% sure. But yeah, it's another safety car, and someone's just not moving. Lap 24 then, and the safety car is coming in. So we are currently P12 out of 13. So I know my restarts aren't great, but even this one can't be that bad. The good thing is Toppy is not at the front this time. I know he is in front of me at the moment. That's because he's lapping people. So it's a case of he just banzais it. He goes. Obviously, I have a faster car behind me, so he's ghosted, so I don't need to worry about him. And I just carry on the racing line as per normal. The thing is, there are a mix of ghosted people and not ghosted people. Obviously, I have this guy currently going through me. The guy behind is not ghosted. And we do kind of touch a little bit there. Not gonna lie, don't know what happens. I may have pushed him off, I'm not sure. I got a bit of understeer, lost a bit of control. Again, mix of people ghosting and not ghosting. So basically a bit of confusion. I try and stay on the racing line, purely because obviously we have ghosting on, so anybody that is faster than me that is trying to lap me, they just can go through. But it's a case of some people are not ghosted, and when you're trying to concentrate, it's really hard to figure out who is and who is not ghosted. The good thing is most people know to just go. He obviously goes through me as well. The Red Bull, he goes in between of ghosting and not ghosting. For some reason, I'm not sure why, because he is technically racing me, I'm guessing it's because of his internet, but like that, we do touch wheels. So that completely puts me off on what is happening. Is he an AI? Because his AI thing's not up, but he's not lapping me because he was behind me at the safety car restart. His little signal thing does keep coming up, so obviously he is having a few internet problems. But yeah, it's one of them that just full on confuses me. If you can tell me in the comments on why that happens, I don't know. I'd love to know. But yeah, going between ghosting and not ghosting, unfortunately there ended up being contact because he unghosted at the wrong point. Nothing fatal, nothing, I didn't get any damage, he didn't get any damage, I don't think, but just knowing on whether or not he was supposed to be ghosting, I don't know, because surely he shouldn't. He was behind me. I'm guessing the game is just confused on who should and shouldn't have been going past me on blue flags. But anyway, he's ended up in front, and we are back to P13. Lap 28 then, and turns out I don't need cars near me to spin me on that particular curb. I know I had a guy behind me, but he was ghosting because he was about to lap me. So clearly just a lapse in concentration. So yeah, curb 3, me 0. And there's still quite a few laps to go, so time for it to happen again, I guess. On to lap 32 then, and Dioptric, the only person to not lap us, has retired. Again, not sure what happens. It looks like he just carries straight on because of the yellow flags at the bottom of the track map. But yeah, we weren't last, and now we are. I was hoping I wouldn't be, but he ended up like a good minute behind us. So yeah, I'm guessing he's just had enough. He also had the time penalties as well, so it's one of them that wouldn't have made much of a difference. But yeah, unfortunately we're down to 12 people, and I'm 12th. Starting our last lap of the race then, because obviously we've been lapped by literally everybody. But yeah, it's one of them. I didn't think I'd finish high up. Well, to be honest, most of this league I didn't think I'd be able to finish in general. But it's one of them. My main enemy has been the curb. Top 8 goes and wins it, which understandable, really. As it's the last lap as well, I do make sure I do not touch that curb. Not that I'm far enough behind already, but obviously you have a time limit, as when the first person goes over the line, you then have a certain number of minutes to be able to finish your race. Otherwise, you just DNF. And there's been plenty of them today. Unfortunately, only 12 people do survive this race. It's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm not sure what happens to any of them, but I'm sure none of them are intentional. But anyway, over the line, and yeah, P12 as a confirmation there. We had no penalties. Other people may have, but we definitely didn't. And Ninjas with the driver of the day. Toppy then getting the top spot. Some questionable dance moves there. But yeah, Mirabeau getting second, and Storm getting P3. final clarification of standing. So yeah, Toppy, Mirabel and Storm, as I've just said. Mirabel getting the fastest lap, and unfortunately we finish in P12. Only 3 DNFs out of the 15 that started, which is a bit, sad knowing that not everybody finished. But overall, not a bad race if you check out that curb. So there we have it, guys. Hungary. Honestly, I really do not know what you see in this track. That curb took me out 2.5 times. I'm saying 2.5. The second one didn't fully take me out. I ended up a little bit sideways and lost quite a lot of time, but that was not a takeout. I did not end up almost hitting that barrier. I didn't hit it at all. So that, if I was going any quicker, momentum probably could have took a wheel off. But that didn't happen. I don't know if anybody else had a problem with that curb, but I know most certainly I did. So at least this race is out of the way. Next race may be a little bit more like France. It's Monza. So less curbs to get spun on. Problem is with Monza, it's quite quick. Not many corners. If anything, I don't like Monza more than I don't like France. I don't know what my bottom 3 tracks would be, but I know Monza and France would be in there. But yeah, we can see what happens. Obviously, last race before me and Liam go to Silverstone, because we managed to miss the Singapore Grand Prix. That'd probably be in my bottom 3 as well. A bit like Monaco, to be honest. In Monaco, Azerbaijan and Singapore are all sort of on the same level for me as well. But anyway, at least that race is over and done with, never to be seen again until the next game for season 2. Can't see why I wouldn't be in season 2. I've enjoyed this season so far. We've still got quite a few to go though. It's not over yet. I know the new game's coming out very soon. But we're not going straight onto it. We do have a few races after the release. So there's a bit of a transition period. But anyway, guys, if you liked this video, please leave a like rating. If you're new around here, if you could subscribe as well, that'd be even better. Next to the subscribe button is a little notification bell that will let you know when I upload. So like I just said, I will be going to Silverstone, so the schedule is going to be a little bit off now for the next few weeks. Obviously you're watching this on the Friday. There will still be a race tonight. I said earlier that's Monza, but then there won't be a race until a week on Friday, so basically 2 weeks from now. That'll be the next race. There'll also be a video being uploaded on a week today, rather than 2 Mondays, because again I am not in. So hopefully I can see you lot tonight for Monza. Bye.